The bell's been rung.
The day has finally arrived as the infamous Snyder Cut of Justice League has hit HBO Max. I shouldn't have to tell anyone about the history with the Justice League movie, as it is common knowledge as to why Snyder left the project, and also the current fiasco involving Ray Fisher and WB in regards of the Justice League film. The original film, which was 90% redone by Joss Whedon, was met with mixed to mostly negative reviews. After years of protests and campaigning, Snyder finally got the green light to finish his movie the way he wanted to. So right off the bat, no pun intended, I'm surprised I actually really like this film, as I'm not really a fan of any of Zack Snyder's films. It's not at all a masterpiece, and I know people will dislike this video because I don't claim it as such, but I do think this film has flaws. But those flaws are not really anything big, and regardless, the movie is still better than Whedon's in a lot of aspects. Surprisingly enough, in the original Justice League, a lot of scenes that I thought were Whedon's doing, scenes I liked in the original cut, were actually from Zack Snyder. Now, it's hard not to spoil anything in this film, as the plot is essentially the same, but with extended scenes, added scenes, more violence, and more music that really wasn't needed in some scenes. But I'll still try not to spoil anything. I would say the plot, if you watch Whedon's or Snyder's, is simple and easy to explain if you follow the main plot points. Batman knows of an attack that is coming to Earth. He and Diana try to form a team, while the villain Steppenwolf comes to Earth to find the mother boxes to destroy Earth. But this movie does a better way of explaining why and adds more motivation for the villain. It honestly adds so much to the story, it feels almost like a different movie. But for part one of an overall story of a team of heroes, it usually needs to be a simple plot before it becomes complicated in the final movie. Cyborg is indeed the heart of the story, as his overall characterization was the best in this movie. You understand why he hates who he is, you see his tragic origin story, and you get why he is in this movie to begin with. The Flash, however, while he gets more scenes to shine in, it's his introduction scene I have an issue with. I get it's introducing us to not only his powers in a more close-up aspect, but it also shows us an introduction to Iris, who's never once named in this film, besides the credits. So it really becomes kind of pointless, and if it were me, I would have saved a scene like this for his own film, minus the creepy hair touching and the wiener pushing. Now, Martian Manhunter, who was confirmed years ago to be in this cut, is the most disappointing for me, and here is why. I see no real reason for his introduction into this film. If it were my choosing, I would have teased him in Man of Steel or give him a more prominent role, or at least in Batman v Superman, even though it already had too much going on in the film. They should have built him up more before Snyder ever wrote the script for this movie, because to be honest, it's odd to see this powerful character appear now and tell Bruce Wayne that he feels like he has more of a stake on this planet now, after the heroes already beat General Zod, Doomsday, and now Steppenwolf. Now, the one thing I always praise Snyder for is the cinematography, and it is gorgeous in this film. But I will say that while Snyder is known for slow motion scenes, he doesn't use it a lot in this film. But I did find it a little odd how in a few scenes that some objects were moving slow, but then other objects in the same shot was moving normally. The action scenes are also entertaining, more entertaining than that in the original, but I still found the fight at the Superman Memorial to be kind of bland. But overall, I mean, this isn't a bad movie at all. As someone who never liked any of Snyder's work, I would have actually been really happy to have seen this in theaters.
It will. It has to.